Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Daydreamers, a podcast show where we talk to people doing what they're passionate about or on their way to their dreams and such. Today, I am with Krump0rDump or Rob Carter.
Hey.
How you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing great. I got off work not too long ago, so I'm just enjoying a nice evening of gaming and relaxation.
Oh, that's great. So, how did you get into gaming in the first place?
Uh, I think quite honestly, my earliest memory of gaming was back when my dad actually played on PC. He played a lot of Age of Empires, and when he wasn't playing or when my parents were asleep, I would sneak on late at night and play some uh, RTSs and Age of Empire, and that was kind of my first ever introduction to online gaming and PC gaming to be specific.
Oh yeah, that was my first two, like Rome Total War and all that,
Oh
and
yeah.
PC gaming. Oh, man, good
So,
times. So, what made you think about doing Twitch?
um, I always kind of felt like I had a relatively charismatic personality and outgoingness about me, and I love to talk, and I noticed I could talk to myself pretty easily and kind of just keep conversation going. And when I realized Twitch was a saying, and I first got my first PC of my own, I was like, this could be a fun thing to do as a hobby. I always saw these crazy Twitch streamers, playing basically just playing games for the fun of it, and I was like, man, I would love to play games, you know, and make a life out of it. So I kind of got my first PC, got a few games, started up my first channel, and just kind of went from there.
Was it like?
Playing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was thinking, what was like you getting into Twitch and all that? Did you ever like go from YouTube to Twitch?
Not really. I was always interested in YouTube, but just between the amount of work between editing and all the behind the scenes stuff of YouTube and uploading and all that, I never had time for all of that. For me, it was just for Twitch, I could just hop on, set the stream up, get the overlays going, and then just go live and then just go from there. I wouldn't have to worry about recording or anything else, and I could just you know have one thing going, and I wouldn't have to worry about the later stuff.
So what would you be your top games to play while you're streaming?
Um, as of lately, I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, Minecraft. Um, I've been playing a lot of Destiny still, Destiny 2 specifically. Those are kind of just the top three that I play, on a daily basis. But I do also play a lot of newer stuff or smaller indie games, um, with friends here and there when I'm feeling like it.
What made you come up with the name Krump0rDump?
So Krump0rDump is actually, there's a long story behind it. It started off as just Krump. It used to be a nickname that I was given about 14 years ago at a camp. Um, uh, so that's where Krump came from. Many years later, at the same camp, I had a boss of mine, a mentor really, who we were hanging around the campfire. We were eating, having s'mores. We were just kind of drinking, playing music, just having a grand old time as you do around a campfire. And he said something about having to go take a dump. And I was like, man, Krump needs a dump. And from there, he started going Krump, 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 Krump0rDump, dump, take a big old dump. And then from there, it was just like, it was just we were all exhausted and just kind of delusional and going off the fumes of one another. And I was like, you know what? That has an interesting ring to it, Krump0rDump. And I just kind of, that's just, it just became my thing. And I've been Krump0rDump ever since then. About 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago.
What do you say is the relationship between pineapple and Krump0rDump?
Pineapples again started at camp. I had this pineapple tank top that got destroyed at camp, and it was my first introduction to pineapples, and pineapple attire in general. And ever since then, I've been on the lookout to replace and find that exact tank top. And to no avail, I haven't been lucky. But every time I come across something pineapple, clothing wise, I would pick it up, buy it. I just loved it, and I just started collecting more pineapple stuff. It went from clothing to, um, knickknacks. I got LED lamps or stickers or car decals. It got to a point where I eventually had it tattooed on my body. It was kind of an affiliation that I had, and it just kind of grew and grew.
This became part of who you
And
are.
yeah, I guess it kind of came a part of my staple of my personality. And yeah, it's just kind of part of my thing.
So what's with like the bud carrying the pineapple? Is that something that symbolizes anything?
Yeah. So on the flip side of pineapples, I also have a huge love for birds and aviation in general. My dad had a bird growing up. I had birds recently. I've always kind of had birds as pets. Most people are like dogs or cats. For me, it was birds. That was kind of my saying. And I used to train birds. I go to bird shops very often and hang out with all the birds. It just kind of became the other half of me. So I put my two loves of pineapple and birds together, and that kind of became my thing.
So what sparked like your love for both of them? What do you think like clicked in your mind when you were going through those experiences?
Um, I couldn't really say. I think it was I just woke up one morning and I was like, man, I realized I happen to love these things. And as I started my Twitch saying, I kind of realized everybody had their own shtick, or something that kind of stood out. And I realized, oh, I kind of need my shtick. And I realized, hey, I love birds and I love pineapples. That can be my shtick.
Yeah.
That little thing I'm known for.
So if you
Um,
overlays all your graphics, do you design them yourself in like Photoshop or something? Yeah.
I didn't actually. I had a good buddy of mine design my first set, because I'm just not artistic in that sense. I'm more musically or photographically or yeah, cine.
Yeah, no, I get that all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those words.
Cinematic or
Um,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, cinematically uh, proficient, but as far as design, that is one of the things that I lack. So I was gracious enough to have a buddy who designed them for me. And being a smaller end streamer, I'm still working and growing on those connections and growing on that. But as far as I'm concerned, I really like the way they turned out, and I'm really happy with what I have. So they kind of grown on me.
Yeah, it's really nice. Honestly, I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, wow. Wish I could make those for my channel. That's what I was looking at.
So
Yeah,
uh,
graphics. Graphics is something to really work toward.
oh
It's
yeah.
hard to start off with.
It was one of those things that I didn't concern myself too much. When at first when I was doing it for fun, and I still do it for fun. I love doing it for fun.
Yeah.
But when I first started off, before affiliation and all that, I kind of just went with what I had. And as I slowly grew and finally became affiliated, I was like, I think it's time for a bit of a makeup change and kind of um do that. And now that I've grown a bit, I was like, kind of put the two and two together and kind of spice things up a bit.
So, what kind of equipment do you use? Like, what? Well, first off, what is your computer made out of? Like, what is the
My
parts?
um my setup currently, I think, as far as my CPU, I'm running a bit. I want to say backdated, but I think it's the least or the most the oldest thing I have. I think I'm running on a i7700 uh uh Intel processor for my CPU. As far as my GPU is concerned, I run an NVIDIA 2060 Super.
Oh wow.
8 gigs RTX. And it does me well for just about everything I play. I have 1 terabyte of SSD, 1 terabyte of external, and then I have 2 more external hard drives. One's 3 terabyte, another 1 terabyte. So I think I have a total of about 5 or 6 terabytes worth of storage for all my games and everything. Moving on to my monitors, I have 3 actually. All Asus. As the generations go up, I can't specifically tell you all of them. I know one of them is a VG25 or 245H gaming monitor. 180. I think it's. I want to say it's 144 hertz. I think 2 of them are 144. One's 175 hertz that I play on. I do have a webcam. It's the Razer webcam. I think one of the most recent ones. Comes in with a built-in ring light, adjustable light settings as well. I also have a stand mic. It's a Zingu, so nothing crazy, just kind of a off market one you can find on Amazon. $40. It's nothing crazy, but I have that hooked up to a Behringer mixer, which my Corsair headphones also plug into, which gives me very, very good sound quality, and gives me a lot better microphone quality, which is also adjustable easily. I just use a standard, RGB Razer keyboard light up, because you always got to have a light up keyboard.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a true gamer. And then my mouse is I actually just got a new mouse. I just upgraded to the Logitech G20 or 502 Hero. So custom weights, free scroll wheel. Nothing crazy, but it's a nice mouse. And I especially like it for the weights. I can change the weight of the mouse, which I love a lot. So as far as just the simple stuff, that's kind of what I'm running off of. So yeah.
So when you're on Twitch, do you watch any other Twitch streamers?
Do I watch Twitch? Yeah. So I watch a lot of. I happen to watch Soda Poppin'. I like Greek. I like Dr. Disrespect. I occasionally find myself watching Summit 1G. Not often, but here and there. And then who else? There's one other that I don't remember. It is what's his name? It is he's a Destiny streamer, and I wish I would know off the top of my head, but I cannot seem to recall all of a sudden.
Well, that happens to me all the time. I had a Remember Yo username too, and I was like, God, because I had a lot of follow channels, and I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch them from time to time. Tim the Tap Man, I watch him. I like him. Just a wide variety.
So with your equipment and all that, what got you into, upgrading, like the keyboard, mouse, and stuff like that?
Honestly, Trent, our mutual buddy Trent, he got me into a lot of the keyboard stuff, especially mechanical stuff. And he showed me the ropes as far as that stuff is concerned. And my dad was also into PCs. He grew up working for Dell and building PCs. So I kind of had experience in terms of upgrading and equipment already. So I had that kind of background.
Just enjoying some Dr. Pepper here. Go Texas. Anyway, we are self-sponsoring this episode. Go to shop.spreadshirt.com/RopeTreeProductions for awesome merch. We got t-shirts with various designs. All profits during the COVID-19 pandemic will go to the Central Texas Food Bank. And if you don't want to support us, we got a neutral design called Fook, which is Vietnamese for lucky and blessings. That way you can still support a great cause while looking stylish and ready for anything that may come. Again, that is shop.spreadshirt.com/RopeTreeProductions. Thank y'all. Now back to the episode. So this is a... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So this is more like a hobby of yours right now. So you have a day job, if you don't mind me asking about that?
Yeah, I do. This is a hobby. So my day job, I guess the best way to explain it is, or what my title is I'm a underground utility locator technician. So what that entails is I locate utility lines all over the area that I am in. And my grid changes very often. I do a lot of stuff, but I basically drive around in my company truck. I have a laptop which I can use to look at all my tickets that need locating for certain addresses or projects. And from there, I will show up on site. I will get out of my truck. I have a transmitter and receiver, which I can hook up to utilities, either on a house for a service drop or main transformers or PEDs for other communication lines, such as AT&T, Time Warner, Sudden Leak. I locate gas as well. But I use magnetic waves and electronic waves to locate underground lines. From anywhere from somebody could be installing a fence in the backyard and their utilities are in the backyard. They need to know where your utilities are so they don't hit the utility lines when they're putting in the post for the fence. Or it could be as simple as somebody's, they're doing highway construction and a massive gas line runs underneath the highway. They need to know where that is. Basically, if you're going to be digging in the ground, you would call our number and we would come out and locate those utilities wherever they may be. That way you know where to avoid. Pretty much. But it's fun. It's good. It pays well, and it's a very good job, and it's a lot of fun too. I work alongside a crew, so it's not just me. I have a crew that I work with, and we have a supervisor of that crew and whatnot. So,
yeah. How do you find time to do Twitch along with this job?
So the job is actually pretty lenient. I don't have a set time to come in. I mean, usually we come in around 7:00 in the morning. And we will work our allotted hours, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. Right now with COVID going on, we're working just 40, but usually I work about 50 to 60 hours a week. But usually when I'm done with work, I will come home. I will do a quick shower, make myself some dinner, and then I just hop on and start streaming for, anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a night, until, I get ready for bed. And especially on the weekends, I stream a lot more. Because I had a lot more time allotted. Here shortly, I do plan on streaming D&D. I do play D&D on the weekends from 2 p.m. until late, about 2 o'clock in the morning. But I want to get that set up so I can stream that as well. And I think that'll be something fun, some and real life stuff, so that might be super cool to do. So, but yeah, but if I'm not working, I'm pretty much streaming or gaming with my friends. So,
So pretty much you're just on that grind.
Oh yeah. Growing and doing what I can.
So I want to take it back to birds, because I'm just looking at your graphic and I'll just keep thinking about the birds. Do you own any of the birds as a pet?
I used to. It's actually a really funny and complicated story. My last relationship, I had birds. I got a couple of birds. One that was mine. One that I got as a birthday gift from my ex's aunt. She let me have her old bird. So I got to take care of that bird and foster it, and it eventually became mine. And then we went out and got a third bird of our own together. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff happened, and not all relationships work out without going into detail. But she ended up taking over the birds and keeping them. Just because at the time I wasn't able to keep them for myself. I was in between homes, so I couldn't take care of them myself. But I still take, I help keep care of them, and if there's ever serious vet bills, I help contribute to that, and I get to see them periodically, because I did help raise them. But I am looking into getting a new bird here soon, fostering a new bird of my own. So I can have a new bird of my own, which I'm looking forward to. Which is going to be a macaw. Um, just a standard crimson macaw, but beautiful birds, very smart birds. I also help take care of Trent's African gray from time to time. So, but I'm in and around birds quite often.
So
But
what was the original two birds?
the original two, one was a parakeet. I named him Houdini because he was an escape artist and very good at that. And then the other one was Max, who we thought was a Max for 8 years until Max decided to tell us that he was a she, and we became a Maxine after laying eggs, just surprisingly one day. And we're like, oh, that's a thing. You went 8 years without telling us, and then you're gonna drop that bombshell on us, which was interesting to say the least. But you know.
How
And
did
then
you?
I had one more bird, which was another cockatoo. So Max and Scruffles are both cockatiels. I'm sorry, cockatiels, whom I trained to sing various songs, to speak, to play peekaboo. They were potty trained, harness trained, very smart birds.
How
So
did you? How did you deal with the eggs?
the eggs. So really, they're just infertile eggs. They just lay eggs to lay eggs.
Oh.
So really, all you do is you give them time, you let them stay near them, and after a certain amount of time, you slowly remove the eggs from the enclosure, and you know that's what happens. And female birds can lay eggs all the time. You know, they just lay them, kind of like chickens.
Yeah.
If they're not fertilized, they're just eggs. And the thing is, you can't eat a cockatiel egg, so you just eventually remove it from the nest.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it. But they can be very very protective. So
Do you ever like play games with birds?
actually, funny enough that yeah, I playing CFCs right now. Not too long ago, they came out with pets. And one of them is birds. So they have a cockatiel, macaws, and parrots in game that you can get pet wise. And I actually recently just got myself an in-game pet that I renamed Scruffles. So he's my companion when I play my game.
It must have been really fun with you, just having birds in the game.
Oh yeah, it's real fun. You can carry them around, and they fly around with you, and it makes it not as lonely. So there's that.
Yeah. So, what kind of mindset when you go into playing the games and go into live streaming? What mindset do you have?
As far as mindset, I just kind of talk about my day. Really, I talk about my day. I talk about what's going on in the game. Kind of keep people updated. That way, they're not confused when they come in. Kind of just kind of very open. Just talking about anything and everything that's going on. To keep the flow going and just really avoid that dead space. In a stream. But I guess one way to explain it is to hype myself up is I actually have a little notebook, and I like to write stuff down. That way I kind of know what I'm going into and what I have planned. So that kind of helps me also keep on track occasionally.
What did you say would be your advice for people who want to get into Twitch streaming?
Advice. Really? Um, you know, I guess the best way to explain it is to just kind of just to do it. Just to, if you've been having thoughts or doubts of what to do or how to do or what to play, honestly, the best way to start for me is just play what you want, play how you want, and stream when you can, and just kind of get used to it. It's kind of jumping into that pool. It's gonna be cold, but once you jump in, it certainly warms up. You might be scared you don't have the best equipment, or you don't have, the charisma or the skill for it. And quite honestly, I think anybody can have the charisma or the skill or really the personality for it. It takes time and it takes practice. And as that goes on, you certainly learn to open up and figure out how to talk more and what to talk about. And once you get into it, you really start to become a lot more open, and it's a lot more fun. And then once you realize how easy it is, um, it just comes naturally, really, you know. So there's just no better time than just to do it, really. For me, I was always like, oh, I don't, scared because I didn't think people would like me. And all you got to know is, you know, the people who like you are gonna like you, and the people who don't won't, and you don't have to worry about those people. You're appealing to whoever you want to appeal to, and people are gonna be naturally attracted to that. So yeah,
What would you say your brand is?
my brand. Would you and in what sense?
Like, what atmosphere or something like that you're creating during your streams?
Atmosphere. I just try to, man, just be friendly. Everybody uh loves a friendly stream. Certainly no one wants to be treated poorly or rude. So just very open, very friendly, very accepting. I try to play with my streamers often, so I try to play games that people can join in as well, because uh get people included. The more people, the more fun you're gonna have. Quite honestly. Um, so just very relaxed, chilled, you know, talking, hanging out, just kind of very laid back, a stream you can come to, pop by, talk a little, hang out a little, and just kind of very low maintenance. You don't got to worry about, stress of the day. You just kind of just come here and just kind of let loose, to be honest. No judgment. You just kind of, whatever goes happens.
So what would that be like your kind of mission statement, or like what do you want to achieve? Kind of just let people let loose and have
Yeah,
fun.
I guess so. Yeah, you need somewhere to hang out, let loose, just kind of relax. Then yeah, I would definitely recommend stopping by. I mean, that's definitely. I want to make people happy, feel welcomed, and just have a good time. Really, I mean, that's the way I see it. I think really about anybody on Twitch kind of has that same, more or less the kind of same idea. It's just we're here to make people have a good time and make people laugh, and we're entertainers in that sense. So I'm here to entertain people, and whatever means that needs, whatever means that is.
I want to take it back. So, if someone's starting to do Twitch, what programs would you recommend them have?
My personal favorite. Now, I first started off on just standard OBS, which is good. When you figure out how to use OBS, but for most of the people who aren't as uh in touch with their tech side, their PC side, I would highly recommend getting Streamlabs OBS. It's a very friendly interface. Um, there's a lot of tutorials. It's very easy to use. Um, uh, it's just overall, it's just very easy to use. It's very simple. You can access everything you need through Streamlabs OBS. So especially for those smaller guys, or even the people who are more advanced, I know a lot of advanced people like to use it as well, because it's just really easy to use. You have everything you need in one application, to be honest with you. So it's super simple and super easy, and it gets the job done with a high quality performance as well.
What did you say would be the mindset you would go into creating your channel and your graphics and stuff like that?
The mindset,
Yeah.
as far as graphics and whatnot, I know I have a lot of pineapple theme stuff, a lot of birds theme stuff, just relatable stuff. People like pineapples, people like birds, so stuff people can relate to. Um, Easy colors on the eyes, I like blue and gold as well. Blue, gold, those kind of colors. So, kind of just incorporate everything into just one big mashup. So just very friendly looking, very, very, very fun to look at, kind of pops out, stands out. Like, hey, this guy's got a lot going on. I kind of want to know the story behind it all. Kind of attention grabber.
So, I do want to kind of in this interview and on a high note, what would is there any more advice you would give to people who are going into Twitch or YouTube or anything like that in creative fields?
Yeah. Really just Um, always keep an open mind. There are going to be highs and lows, but if you keep an open mind and look towards the positive, you're always going to see the positive. Um, you know, just have fun with it. Because if you're having fun with it, then everything else is just going to come naturally. People are going to say, "Hey, this guy's having a lot of fun. I want to check what this guy's doing." Um, so really, just do what you want. Uh, don't worry about having to appeal to anybody, because, like I said, just make sure you're having fun. That's the most important part. Because if you're not having fun, then it's kind of hard to stay motivated. But play the games you want, stream what you want, stream at the times that you want. That's most convenient. And as long as you're enjoying what you do, then that's really what matters.
Anything else you like to add?
Um, yeah, I guess just one thing, just to remember that you know it's a huge community, and there are lots of people like-minded, just like you and I, and there's always people to talk to for advice, and everybody has their own little advice. So, feel free to just always ask around. And once you're in the community, to ask around in the community, and plenty of people will be more than happy to give you advice and to help you out. It's a very understanding and friendly community as well.
Yeah, it really is. I recently just started doing some live streams, and there's so many people that will come by and be like, "Yeah, hey, how's it going? Doing good? And you need any help and stuff like that." It's great. Everyone's friendly.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's very fun, very friendly, very great group of people. And I since I started streaming, I've enjoyed it. I've noticed I feel a lot happier, a lot more outgoing. It's easier to strike up conversation not only online, but just in normal everyday life. Um, so it's a lot. It's very beneficial inside and outside of Twitch and stream.
What did you say can help with mental health issues? What do you say? I mean, I guess we're not experts, but
Um, yeah, yeah, I think it's actually a very pretty good point. I would say so. Yeah, um, it could. Yeah, especially social anxiety or things of those nature. Um, I used to have a terrible fear of talking in front of people, in front of stages, and since I've started doing this, I really don't have that fear anymore. I've become a lot more open, and understanding, and it really helped me get over that anxiety aspect of life. Being just naturally scared of a lot of things, really, especially when it comes to social interactions. So when it comes to those aspects, I feel like it really does help you open up and kind of, you know, overcome a lot of those fears.
so when do you usually stream? Like in the evenings, afternoons?
Yeah. So usually when I stream, it's usually about 5 to 6 or 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And I'll stream just about usually to about midnight at the latest, midnight Central Time. Um, at the latest, yeah. Sometimes, at the earliest, I'll go 6 to 10, 4 hours. That's kind of usually my minimum. I try to go 4 hours a night. Just like, nice long, lot of time for people to come by and just hang out.
So what is your Twitch again?
So my Twitch, you can always find me at Krump0rDump on Twitch TV. So it's gonna be KRUMP, capital K, 0R, capital DUMP, Krump or Dump. And that's on Twitch.
Yeah, I
And
really recommend people to follow. I watch a little bit of your streams when I can, and you're really entertaining, honestly.
thank you. I really appreciate it. I have certainly picked up a singer too as I've done it, and it's really enjoyable. But yeah, I stream about Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. I certainly try to. Now, of course, there are some days where I'm busy or I'm not able to. But I do have a Twitter that I notifies people when I go live to, um, which is Pineapples Just. That's the @ handle. So you can always find me there on Twitter, and I try to keep people updated when I'm going live as well. That way, that's another platform you can figure it out when I'm going live. And again, on weekends, I try to stream when I can almost all day. So when I wake up around, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'll stream just about all day, just long streams. That way people can just come out and just have a good day and hang out. That's kind of my schedule and where to find me at.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on to the show. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I've had a great time. So I appreciate having you reach out.
Sorry if my question's a little bit out there and not uniform. I'm trying to get better, but thank you. And I really hope for the best on Twitch. I'll watch when I can, and I really recommend other people.
Yeah, and right back at you. Best of luck with the podcast and the interviews and having people come on and just having a great time. So I thought you did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so everyone, there's going to be links in the description below. Go follow if you can, and take care, everyone. Happy trails.
Bye-bye, y'all.